My boyfriend hid me from his esports team, then I accidentally revealed who I am on Twitch. Jonathan had been hiding our relationship from his esports team for months. I'm a software engineer, and I game in my free time, but he kept saying his teammates were toxic, and he didn't want drama. After weeks of him begging, I finally agreed to sit in on one of their practice sessions in Tyler's basement. The second I walked in, I felt the judgment. Walls covered in gaming posters, bright ring lights, and 4 guys hunched over PCs like they lived there. Jose didn't even turn around when he said, "So you're the girlfriend?" Tyler smirked and added, "Jonathan finally brought his cheerleader." They started testing me right away. Tyler pulled up some random indie game from 2019 and asked me to name the main character. I answered fast. Instead of being impressed, he just got suspicious. He switched to hardware questions, like refresh rates and graphics cards. Each time I answered, Jose raised his eyebrows like I was lying. "Let me guess," Tyler said, laughing. "You only play mobile games." Another guy said, "Or you just watch Jonathan play and pretend you get it." Jose finally turned around and said, "She probably uses auto-aim in every shooter." Jonathan sat there looking uncomfortable, but he didn't defend me. So I bit my tongue and stayed on the couch while they started their tournament prep stream. Their Twitch channel had around 200 viewers on a good day, and tonight, it hovered around 180. Tyler kept talking into his headset like I couldn't understand English. "Don't worry," he said. "Gaming can be confusing for girls. The controls are pretty complicated." They'd explain basic mechanics, make jokes about booth babes, and ask if I needed help following along. I took slow sips of my energy drink and watched their chat crawl by. Then a donation popped up for $5, asking for relationship advice. Jonathan read it out loud, squinting at the username like it was a math problem. "Thanks for the $5 from XX Nightshade_Queen XX, he said, stumbling over the words. My stomach dropped. That was one of my top subscribers. Before I could stop myself, I blurted, "It's XX Nightshade Queen XX. The room went dead quiet. Tyler slowly rolled his chair toward me, RGB lights reflecting off his face. "Your stream?" he asked. Jonathan looked honestly confused, and that hit me harder than the jokes. We'd been dating 8 months, and he still didn't connect my real name to what I did at night. I kept my streaming separate from my day job, but I wasn't hiding it. "Yeah," I said, forcing my voice to stay calm. "I stream Tuesday through Thursday nights. Variety games." Jose's controller slipped from his hands and clacked on the floor. One of the guys grabbed his phone like he needed proof right now. Tyler pulled up Twitch and typed my name with shaky fingers. "My page," I said, pointing, "has about 400,000 followers." Jose let out this quiet, broken laugh like he couldn't process it. On their monitor, the viewer count jumped from 180 to 1,000 in seconds. Then 2,500, then 3,000. Chat exploded, people spamming my emotes and asking if it was really me. Donation alerts started chiming non-stop, overlapping each other until it sounded like an arcade. My moderators found the stream. They started dropping messages like, "Yep, that's her," and "Be respectful." Jose scrolled through my clips and said, "You sponsored that tournament last month." Tyler's mouth opened, then closed. Jose added, "The one we couldn't afford to enter." Eyes still on the screen. Jonathan stared at me like I'd grown a second head. "You never told me you were internet famous," he said, half shocked, half embarrassed. I stared back. "You never asked what I do after work, and you acted like you had to hide me," I said. Tyler rubbed his face with both hands and muttered, "Holy crap, Nightshade Queen." The viewer count hit 5,000, and people kept begging for a collab stream. Someone donated and wrote, "1v3 them." Tyler read it, then looked at me like he expected me to apologize for existing. Instead, I stood up, walked behind Jonathan's chair, and took the controller out of his hands. "Okay," I said, keeping it simple. "Since we're doing introductions, let's do it right." I nodded at the screen. "Cue up a 1v3, I said, "because from what I've seen tonight, you guys could use some coaching." The room stayed silent for one beat, and then Tyler's face went pale as he realized he'd been talking down to me for 2 hours on his own stream. Now they're saying I embarrassed him on stream. Was I wrong for it?